This is a demonstration of Sigma System Model M90 Environmental LN2 Temperature Test Chamber. It requires LN2 for cooling between 80 and 100 psi. It has a temperature range of between minus 185 to plus 200 degrees C. It is equipped with a digital temperature controller which is completely programmable and includes an IEEE and RS-232 interface. It also has a 3-inch cable port in the chamber side. Its inside dimensions are 25 inches long by 15 inches wide by 15 inches high. It is powered by 208 volts, single phase, 50 hertz. First, there are 4 switches on the back. On these rocker switches, you turn all 4 on. Here is where you would connect your LN2. For purposes of our demonstration, we're just using compressed air for now. And this is also a vent for the chamber as well. On the back here, you'll see the 2 different interface connections, the IEEE and the RS-232. This is also where you would connect your nitrogen purge for the inside of the chamber. Now, if we go around to the front, this is our on button here. There's a local position, which means you can simply use it as a basic chamber, turning it on and off at a given set point. There's also a programmable position, so you can set up your own programs. A remote position, which would then answer to the interfaces in the back, and set up for setting up the PIDs and different parameters for the chamber. We'll take a look inside. It's really a nice, spacious chamber. I like the way this is laid out. You can get in it easy and out. The different temperature probes are up top here, and we have an additional temperature probe right here that you can use to monitor your product temperature as well. We're going to close the chamber up. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is run this in the manual mode. But before I do that, I want to show you this manual. I see a lot of manuals, instruction manuals, and this is outstanding. They really went the extra effort to make sure that things were very clearly understood, making the whole process very simple. Now, my suggestion is the introduction and quick start page. You should definitely read this. In many cases, we like to skim through these manuals, and there are certain things that you can skim through, but they're also very clear on making sure that you read certain chapters thoroughly. Also, there is a fail-safe system. Now, what this system does is it's basically sets a high and low limit for the temperatures. So if you go below the limit or go above the limit, it will stop the heating and the cooling action. In this case, with the cooling action, it would close the valve going to the LN2 cylinder. Also, in the back, once again, very important, there is a fail-safe override adjustment. Now, this extension rod goes into a pot in there that you turn back and forth. So that will override everything for high temperature. Right now I have it set all the way up, but you can set it wherever you like. Also, this is the instructions on how to use the local mode, which is basically set a set point, whether it be high or low, and then you can get to that. This section here is on writing your programs and setting them up. It's very clear on how to do this, so you can ramp up to a certain temperature. You can hold it at that temperature or soak for a while and drop back down. They have some sample programs in here that are very good that you can follow. And if you try one right off the bat, you'll find that as long as you follow the format of these program instructions, you won't have any problem. What's helpful is they also have in the book, I've made some copies of it, programming worksheets. So once you do this a couple of times, you should be able to write your own programs very simply. Now, we're going to start off by first showing you. We're going to clear the entry. We're going to use, we have, as you know, 2 probes, and of course the one for the product. We're going to put that in. And we're now at about room temperature. This will run up to 200 degrees. So let's go for it. Let's put in 200 degrees. Hit enter. And it's as simple as hitting the start button. Now, you'll see that the heat has come on. And we can display our temperature by going to display temperature. And as you can see, this is a very fast chamber. It'll get up to 200 degrees in probably about 10 minutes, maybe even a little less. So we'll give it a couple of minutes and we'll come back and see how it does. In about 12 minutes. Let me check my watch here. Hold on. 13 minutes. That we've gone from room temperature up to our max temperature of 200 degrees C. As you can see, the heat light is blinking instead of being on steady. That means that it's now pulsing the voltage to the heaters so it can control. And we are how about that? We are there. Our probe is set off to the side, so it's not going to read the same as the actual probe that's near the heater. But this is excellent control. So read the manual. You'll find this a very simple chamber to operate. I can't say enough about how well constructed it is. And this completes this demonstration.